Hello everybody, my name is Davis, and welcome back to another video, and today we're here for another severe weather breakdown. So let's go and get right into it. Starting off where today we have 4 separate marginal risks. We have one out here in the desert southwest where, we didn't really see too much action today. It was kind of just some regular summer storms and showers. Same thing here for eastern Colorado, western Kansas. Then we have one up here in Wisconsin and Minnesota, and this is where we saw some storms with some strong gusty winds, but overall not too much damage, no tornadoes, not even a tornado warning or anything up here. And then right here in Missouri, we had a marginal risk with a slight risk, and that is where most of the action happened today. It also extends into the extreme southwestern bits of Illinois. So let's go ahead and break this all down. Today, this was a big point of concern, not just for severe weather, but also for flash flooding. Okay, we had several different flash flood warnings here today. I imagine we almost got a flash flood emergency, but luckily we didn't. I think some areas even got an upwards of 10 inches of rain. No, that's not an exaggeration. But yeah, it was a pretty crazy day here in this area. Our tornado probabilities for today, there's a 2% risk of a tornado here in central Missouri into southwestern Illinois. I'm going to be honest, I was not too active on Radar Omega today, so I'm not sure if there was a tornado or not, so I really can't say anything on this. And then our damaging wind outlook, we have a 15% chance of damaging wind in Missouri here and all the different 5% bubbles. And then for the hail threat of a hail of 1 inch or larger, we have a 5% risk up here and a 5% risk in here, as well as a 15% risk in here. So if you're in central Missouri, you still, even if you've already gotten storms today, you still have a 15% chance to see wind gusts of 60 miles an hour or higher, as well as hail of 1 inch in diameter or larger, so look out. But then into tomorrow, the severe weather threat is even more concerning. So starting off, we got this big marginal risk up here in the northeast. This also extends into Canada. I'm not really sure. Maybe some strong storms up here, but I doubt you're going to get a severe thunderstorm warning. I doubt you're going to get large hail, damaging winds, anything like that. Then we kind of have a southern risk here, a southern marginal risk. This one I could see some things happening in. I could definitely see some strong gusty winds in this region, so we'll break that down later. And then we have an enhanced risk, everybody, and this is an enhanced risk for tomorrow, so I would not even be surprised if tomorrow this gets upgraded to a moderate risk for severe weather. Which is the level after an enhanced risk, because this is looking kind of concerning, I'll be honest. So let's go ahead and break this down. We have our tornado probabilities. We have a 2% chance of a tornado here in the southeast tomorrow, in the tri-state region of Alabama, Georgia, as well as Tennessee, so look out there. Then our wind outlook, we have the 5% risk, and then we have a 30% hatch risk in this region right here. So, if you are in northwestern Kansas, northeastern Colorado, or southwestern Nebraska, tomorrow you have a 30% chance of seeing damaging winds that could be 75 miles an hour or higher. That is a pretty dangerous situation to be in if you do end up being in that. So I would definitely look out. We could see a derecho tomorrow, guys. If you know what that is, that's basically a damaging windstorm that moves across a line through a majorly populated area. But anyway, yeah, if you're in this region tomorrow, your biggest threat by far is wind gusts of 75 miles an hour or higher. Those can knock over trees. Those can knock over telephone poles. Those can cause significant damage to roofs and more if they're not very sturdy. So I would definitely be on the lookout if I'm in this region. And then we have our hail outlook. We got a 15% chance of hail of 1 inch or larger in this region here, but overall nothing too concerning. And then going into Friday here, we have a marginal risk of severe weather in the northeast. We don't know too much about that yet, so I'm not going to speak on it. So here we are on our excessive rainfall outlook, and today we have a moderate risk of flash flooding here for areas like St. Louis, as well as east of Jefferson City here into southwestern Illinois. And then we've even got a slight risk of flash flooding here in central Illinois, even kind of more back into the southwestern region of Illinois, as well as western Kentucky, some of central Missouri, and southern Iowa. So if you're in that red, you have a 40% chance of seeing flash flooding, or not necessarily flash flooding, excessive rainfall, which usually leads to flash flooding. And then if you're in this yellow risk, you have a 15% chance of seeing excessive rainfall that could lead to flash flooding. And then we also had a 15% giant risk out here in the high plains region, kind of. Actually, no, it's not the high plains. What am I talking about? That's, I don't know. What's a good word for this area? The West? I don't know. The Great Basin? Should I call it that? Sure. Anyway, over Utah, Wyoming, Nevada, and southeastern Idaho. So, yeah, if you're in this area, you have a 15% chance of seeing excessive rainfall today. Yeah, we definitely saw some flash flood warnings out in this region. We might have honestly gotten a flash flood emergency out here. I don't know, because again, I wasn't paying too much attention today because I was out doing things. But yeah, this red area, we definitely got a lot of rain in today. Like I said, some areas even upwards of 10 inches. That's crazy to me. And then if we move on to tomorrow's excessive rainfall outlook, we got a giant slight risk here in the southeast, one over here in the central plains region, and one over here in the high plains northwest. So any of these areas need to be looking out for that. And then even going into Friday here, we've got a slight risk in the northeast as well as one in the high plains. And then even going into Saturday, guys, we've got another slight risk here in the high plains. And then on Sunday, we just have a marginal risk right now, so nothing too scary there. So if you're in this red or yellow area today, I'd definitely say still be aware because there could still be some flash flooding issues. But other than that, I'd say tomorrow the high plains needs to look out. But yeah, other than that, flash flooding isn't really a big issue right now. And then here we are on the National Hurricane Center. Yesterday, whenever I showed this, there were two different disturbances. There's one up here that has completely died off, and this one was like a 40% chance of forming into a tropical cyclone. It's down to a 10% chance, you guys, so I'm just gonna say it, this is not gonna produce anything, and even if it does, it's gonna go off to the north, maybe if it's lucky, last until very southern Canada. But even by that point, again, I don't think it's going to form. And even if it does, it's just going to be a tropical depression with like 30-mile-an-hour winds. So no biggie there. If we go to the eastern Pacific, that's where things change because we've got a full-on hurricane out here. But we're not going to talk about that for right now. First, we're going to focus on this tropical disturbance over here. This has a 30% chance of forming into a tropical storm here within the next week. So definitely be on the lookout here if you're in Central America, but I don't like to focus on that region. I kind of just focus on the U.S. But then we have Hurricane Dora here, which kind of excuses my U.S. only rule because this thing is honestly a little crazy, I'll be honest. Right now, it's got maximum sustained winds of 110 miles per hour. This is a Category 2 hurricane. It could reach Central America. I don't want to be that guy that, like, causes drama, especially if I'm not accurate on that. But it's looking like it might, I will be honest. So if you're in this area, which I doubt many of you watching are, definitely look out for that. Central Pacific, we got nothing. So Hawaii, you are good. But yeah, this is pretty much it for today. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.